All right, people, eyes on the screen. See this photo? That's me at 19. I look cute, right? But let's be honest, my brain was absolute mush back then. That was my very first day at work, and like a naive chump, I bought into the biggest lie capitalism sells. Just work your ass off and success will follow. Spoiler alert, that is total bullshit. Fast forward 10 years, I grew up, got smart, and realized grinding isn't enough to take off. You actually have to use your brain. Today, I'm going to break down, step by step, my exact plan to become a millionaire by 36. This isn't some theoretical textbook garbage. It's my personal experience, insights ripped from real business sharks, and a bit of psychology so you can see exactly how your own brain is tricking you. By the way, one of these tricks saved me $40,000 in one single damn hour. But more on that later, don't you dare click away. Let's begin. Step 1. The all-weather portfolio, escaping the wage trap. The first pillar is mathematical. You need to understand that wages are a trap. Wages grow linearly. You trade 1 hour of life for 1 unit of currency. The problem is, you have a finite amount of life. You cannot scale yourself. Relying solely on a salary is like driving a car with no airbags. The moment you stop working, the cash flow hits zero. My strategy is to aggressively build an all-weather portfolio of passive income. I'm talking about income that is decoupled from my time. Dividends, digital assets, rental income. The goal here is non-linear growth. When you build a product or buy an asset, you do the work once and it pays you forever. This is the only way to escape the rat race. You have to stop being the machine and start owning the machines. As soon as one income stream is on autopilot, I move to the next. It's not about working harder. It's about stacking assets that work for you while you sleep.
Step 2. First principles thinking. Destroying the status quo. Step 2 is a mindset shift I stole from Elon Musk. First principles thinking. Most people operate by analogy. They do things because that's how it's always been done. This is herd mentality, and the herd usually gets slaughtered. First principles means boiling a problem down to its fundamental truths and building up from there. When someone tells me that's impossible, my immediate reaction is now aggression. I want to prove them wrong. Example: I used to organize events. I wanted to create expensive, high-quality physical invites because I knew people would post them on Instagram, giving us free viral marketing. My business partner said, "No, we can't. We've never done that. It's too risky." That is the sound of mediocrity. It's the sound of sticking to the blueprint. Elon Musk didn't look at NASA and say, "How do they build rockets?" He looked at the physics of raw materials and said, "I can do this 10 times cheaper." The Wright brothers didn't look at birds and give up. They looked at aerodynamics. You cannot get extraordinary results by taking ordinary actions. If you want outsized returns, you have to be willing to look stupid to the majority. Step 3. Aggressive leverage. The $40,000 hour. This leads me to the point that saved my bank account. Step 3 is realizing that trying to do everything yourself is an ego trap. There's a saying, if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. I used to try to save money by doing everything myself. Accounting, legal, strategy. I thought I was being smart. I was being cheap. Here is the story. I was moving a property between 2 companies. I looked at the tax forms and realized I was about to be hit with a $40,000 tax bill. I panicked. I spent days Googling trying to find a loophole. Nothing. A friend finally bullied me into seeing a specialist. I paid a tax advisor $200 for a 1-hour consultation. I hated spending that money. But in that 1 hour, he gave me a completely legal, complex structuring strategy that eliminated the entire $40,000 liability. I traded $200 for $40,000. That is a 20,000% ROI. The lesson? Stop being a hero. In the game of wealth, you don't get points for difficulty. You get points for winning. Leverage other people's 10,000 hours of mastery to solve your problems instantly. Step 4. The slight edge. Weaponized consistency. Number 4 is boring.
And that's why you'll struggle with it. It's the slight edge. Success isn't a lottery ticket. It's the result of tiny, seemingly insignificant choices you make every single day. Here's a dumb example for those who don't understand what I'm talking about. Think about a plane taking off from Los Angeles to New York. If the pilot turns the nose just 1 degree south, nobody on the plane notices. You don't spill your coffee. It feels exactly the same. But over the course of 6 hours, that tiny gap widens. Instead of landing in New York, you land in Mexico. That is your life. One lazy day is that 1 degree. It feels fine right now, but do it for a decade and you end up in a completely different life than the one you planned. You don't fail overnight, you fail 1 degree at a time. This is compounding. It applies to money, health, and skills. The decisions you make today, to read 10 pages, to invest $50, to not eat that junk food, are invisible in the short term. But over 10 years, they create an unbridgeable gap between you and the average person. You have to fall in love with the boredom of consistency. Step 5. Lean into your unfair advantage. Step 5 involves an audit of your soul. You need to find your money-making superpower. Stop trying to fix your weaknesses. You will only ever be average at your weaknesses. You need to identify what you are naturally, freakishly good at and triple down on it. This comes from 3 places. 1. Your upbringing. What did you learn by osmosis? 2. Your skills. What do you do at work that feels easy to you but looks like magic to others? 3. Your obsessions. What do you research for free on weekends? For me, I'm leaning into content creation. It's uncomfortable, but I know I have a knack for synthesizing information. I'm betting on this strength. Find your unfair advantage and exploit it ruthlessly. Step 6. Asymmetric bets, the privilege of youth. Now, let's add some new layers. Step 6 is about risk capacity. If you are under 30, you have a massive advantage. You can afford to go to zero. If you lose all your money at 22, it sucks, but you recover. If you lose it all at 60, you're ruined. Therefore, you must place asymmetric bets. An asymmetric bet is a scenario where the downside is capped. You lose your initial investment, but the upside is uncapped. 10x, 50x, 100x returns. Investing in the S&P 500 is great for preservation, but it won't make you rich quickly. It grows at 8 to 10% a year. To get rich young, you need volatility. This means starting a business, investing in high-growth startups, or learning high-risk skills. Most people play defense their whole lives. To get to the first million, you have to play offense. You have to take swings that have the potential to change your life overnight, knowing that if you miss, you still have time to recover. Step 7. Money loves speed. Speed of implementation. Step 7 is a concept I live by. Speed of implementation. There is a direct correlation between how fast you act on an idea and how likely you are to succeed. Most people have an idea, and then they sit on it. They research it. They talk about it at the bar. They wait for the perfect time. The perfect time never comes. The market rewards speed. If I have an idea for a video or a business, I want to execute a prototype within 24 hours. Perfectionism is just procrastination in a fancy suit. It's fear masking as quality control. You need to be willing to put out version 1.0 while it's still ugly. You can fix a bad product, but you can't fix a non-existent one. If you want to be a millionaire, you need to increase your output frequency. Fail faster so you can succeed sooner. Step 8. The information diet. Garbage in, garbage out. Step 8 is controlling your inputs. Your brain is a biocomputer. If you feed it trash, it will produce trash. Look at your phone. What did you consume in the last 24 hours? TikTok dances? Celebrity gossip? Panic-inducing news? That content is designed to keep you anxious, distracted, and poor. I went on a ruthless information diet. I unfollowed everyone who doesn't educate me or inspire me. I stopped watching the news because it's just noise. Instead, I force-feed my brain high-level content, podcasts by billionaires, books on psychology, market analysis. When you change your input, your subconscious starts finding patterns you didn't see before. You start seeing opportunities where you used to see problems. You literally cannot afford to waste your mental bandwidth on entertainment if you are trying to build an empire. Step 9. Live below your means. The trap of looking rich. And finally, Step 9. The defense mechanism. Live below your means. This is where most young high earners die. It's called lifestyle creep.
You get a raise, so you buy a nicer car. You get a bonus, so you upgrade your apartment. You are running on a treadmill. You look rich, but you are actually broke. I made a decision to live like a student even when I started making good money. I sold my car. I did the math. Insurance, gas, depreciation. It was a hole in my pocket. I take Uber or the train now. I stopped buying designer clothes to impress people I don't even like. Every dollar I save isn't savings, it's soldiers. I deploy those dollars into assets. Point 1. I will buy the Porsche one day, but I won't buy it with my salary. I will buy it when the dividends from my investments can pay for it without me lifting a finger. So that's the roadmap. 1. Build the all-weather portfolio. 2. Use first principles. 3. Leverage experts. Don't be cheap. 4. Respect the slight edge. 5. Exploit your superpower. 6. Make asymmetric bets while you're young. 7. Execute with speed. 8. Curate your information diet. 9. Live below your means until your assets pay for your luxury. I'm not saying this is easy. I'm saying it's necessary. I'm documenting this entire journey, the wins and the losses. If you want to see if I actually pull this off, or if I crash and burn, hit that subscribe button. Check out my next video and get to work. See you in the next one.